I am sure sports. You know me there. I'm coast to coast representing. I mean, I say this is righteous representing for Omar. You don't know, come get the sports over here from near and far. Boy, 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 boy. Me say I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. I am sure sports, one thing me sure about. When me say sure, that me not doubt. Come get your sports, get it over here. Come subscribe, repost and share. If me not sure, that me not say it. Know who score, that me not say it. Never know the game play, that me not say it. If me never seen a game, me no know who play. For your sports news, better come over here so. For your soccer news, then come over here so. If you don't love sports, still come over here. For the day done, you a go love over yourself.
So when it comes on to behavior concerning football, Jamaica is decent. I am sure that if we can get all of these things done, set in place by the end of April, it gives us enough time before the World Cup campaign. Not afraid of no Brazil, no Argentina with these crap of players. We are good enough. Remember to like, subscribe, share. Listen, comment, let me know what your thoughts are.
Jamaican herbs and spices add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Greetings and good morning. Welcome to I Am Sure Sports. I'm your host, Manning's Man, and we have another intriguing discussion this morning with a man that I know personally and know very well from his days at playing at Constant Spring. But he has also played for a few other clubs and had a good career in high school. It's going to be a great story, untold stories. Sometimes we just don't know, and you don't know, so you don't judge unless you completely understand things from all vantage points. We're going to hear things from his vantage point this morning. How the system around him affected him even excelling to greater levels in terms of his footballing career, though he has made it as a successful businessman at this time. But before we even bring him on, I want to say again, welcome to I Am Sure Sports, and a big thank you to the sponsors of this video. Trick Nick. Trick Nick is a Jamaican-owned and operated company in Canada. They use authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products, and they're giving 25% discount on all their products. Right? All you have to do is shop at www.tricknick.ca and use the code I Am Sure Sports 001. The link is in the description for this video. You can go there and check them out. They are also giving you a Trick Nick recipe book free of cost. It was released on the 7th of December 2021. Also, once you come on, we ask you to hit the like button if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, and you can also share the video so others can become a part of this platform in continuing the work that we are doing. Again, it is my pleasure to be with you today. As usual, we want to share a couple of thoughts with you. And you know that there are different laws that govern things, and there are laws that governs leadership. And there's a law, it's called the law of process. I mean, and the law of process is really that leadership doesn't develop daily in a day, it develops daily. A lot of people believe that you ascend to leadership just in a day, but you don't. Leadership isn't developed in a day. It is developed daily. And part of the process of leadership is to understand the four phases. And phase one is I don't know what I don't know. Because the truth is, as long as a person doesn't know what he doesn't know, he doesn't grow. If you don't know what you don't know, you will not grow. So the first admission is I don't know what I don't know. Phase two is I know what I don't know. Why is that important? Because to be conscious that you are ignorant of the facts is a great step to knowledge. When you become conscious that you don't know stuff, it then helps you to seek after knowledge so you can know. The third phase of leadership, the process of leadership, is I grow and I know and I start to show. You begin to display what it is. The truth is that champions are not formed in the boxing ring. But is it in the ring that they show their championship medal? But it is formed outside of the boxing ring. And the final phase is I simply go because of what I know. The secret of success in life is for a man to be ready for his time when it comes. So I want to ask you, what are you doing now to prepare you for your next opportunity? Don't miss out on that. Leadership, the process of leadership, the law of the process teaches that leadership isn't developed in a day, it is developed daily. Just want to share those few words to inspire you, to encourage someone today. If you don't know, you don't know. But you have to admit that you don't know so you can begin to pursue real and true knowledge. All right? And so I'm going to invite my guest this morning. I want you to be engaged in the process, in the discussion. He's unafraid of answering the tough questions. And so feel free to ask them. We will definitely bring up as many as possible. We appreciate all the comments that we get, but sometimes there are so many it's difficult to bring them all up. But as best as possible, I will give him the opportunity to answer them. So I want you to welcome to I Am Sure Sports, our Untold Stories section, where we'll be talking to uh, former Excelsior high school student and player, Constant Spring Waterhouse and Harborview player, Mr. Patrick Reid. Sir Reid, welcome. Good morning.
Mornings, man, and morning to the viewers. Give thanks to life, give thanks to the breath of life.
Wonderful, wonderful. So when I grow up, I want to be able to dress like you. So I'm gonna have to come to you're gonna have to have one of those classes where you teach people how to, fit in suits and all of those things, and get the tie and the pocket piece to match and all of those things.
Well, mornings, man. They say that presentation is key. And whenever you have the opportunity like this, you have to put your best foot forward. Present yourself in the best manner. You don't know who is watching or who is listening, so you have to put yourself together when you have these things happening.
Awesome. I like the way you view that. That's so important because sometimes, like I say, you never know who is watching, who is looking, and that is important because it's not that you're trying to impress, but first impression
Last.
last. There you go. There you go. All right, wonderful. So let's begin. I mean, I want you to begin by sharing with us again. Welcome to all the persons, Karumi, who is here, Unseen Sports TV, Sir Carlton Claggy Alexander. I see you, Marlon Morrison, Caitlin. Welcome as well, and all the other persons who are watching at this time. So, Patrick, I want you to begin by sharing with us. When did your whole footballing career started? When did it become serious for you? And kind of share with us that journey all the way to the top tier of football in Jamaica.
Okay. So, mornings, man. I know a lot of people didn't know this, but football wasn't my first choice of sports. It was track and field. right?
Oh.
My sister was champion girl at Manly, and then she left to Dunoon, champion girl. So I was following in her footsteps, Sharon Smith. No, Sharon Smith Graham. And at primary school, I feel that I was a fast runner, but you had people like Daniel England. I also invited him to come on this program because, from time to time, I would see him on Facebook or whatever, and I'd say, Daniel, thank you very much for all those beating that you beat me in the 100-meter shoes and socks. You name all those events we usually have at primary school. You beat me. And when you're beaten, right? So I left track and field and went to football, which was my second passion.
So Daniel England beat you into football.
No,
Or beat you
yes,
out at track
beat
and
me
field.
into football. Definitely beat me into football. It's funny. It's funny though.
Well, no man, go ahead, man. Go ahead and share and continue sharing. Yeah.
Yes, so through my primary days, it wasn't anything to do with football. Basically track and field. Went to Russell Primary. Left Russell Primary and I went to Norman Manley. Still wasn't playing any football for Norman Manley at that point in time because at that time the coach was using a lot of tracks players. I had the speed, but sometimes you have coaches who run their program a different way. I'm always laughing, and having fun in training. So, I went to training 8th grade, got sent home. 9th grade, got sent home. 10th grade, got sent home. And this is just from having fun in training and laughing. The coach would be like, you, get up, go home. You, get up, go home. Right. And it's funny, this coach was Alec Clark. Right. We laugh from time to time about this. So, during this time, I played under 14 for Pembroke Hall, right? And how I got started. If anybody from the Kingston 20 area or from back in the days used to have this man by the name of Spartacus, he rides and he sell Buster and so forth. He was the first person to take me one side and throw a ball on my foot, control the coyote, pass it back to me because you have some talent and you're gonna be big. You're gonna be big. Him telling me that at a young age, stuck in my mind. So, as I said, I started under 14 for Pembroke Hall with coaching. My coach that time was Derek McCree. Sorry there. Yes. My coach that time was Derek McCree and Roots. Nathan. They call him Roots. He was also a referee in the, what do you call it now? The referee association.
Okay.
And yes, so I have to give a special shout out to those guys because those are the people who took me under their arm and taught me the basic in football: control, passing, heading. Those are things that they were drilling us daily and until we could move on to the next stage. So playing under 14 for Pembroke Hall, we went to the finals. We played against Santos. We lost 3-1 in that finals.
What position you were playing at this time? Center back, because I know you to be a center back. That's all where you have
Well,
always played.
at that point in time, I was playing wing back. I was
Okay.
playing right back. Right. So we lost to Santos. They had a very good team. The likes of Kevin Moo Young, Chris Bailey, Devon Holwell, Alton Cook, Ernie. As I said, they had a good crop of players. Players from my team. Then we had Dwight Wellington, the Wellington brothers, the Wright brothers, Wayne, Peter, Jason. We had Kevin Campbell, just to name a few, on our team. Unknown team made it to the finals. At this point in time, we're playing at Caxton Park. That finals played at Dynamic Oval.
Right, because Dynamic Oval was the Santos field because Dynamic Sound was in
yes.
charge of Santos, right?
Yes, so Spanner and his guys beat us up in the finals.
Okay.
We move on from there and we went to
you're not playing for Norman Manley, you're still the coach. You still
not,
did not play for Norman Manley.
Not playing for Norman Manley. None at all. I didn't, as I said, I didn't play any ball for Norman Manley till I reached 11th grade. I played 1 year for Norman Manley.
Okay.
Right. So we were in the under 16 competition, which was you had the minor league and the President Cup playing. We were in the President Cup. We went to the semifinals again. Marvelly knocked us out of the semifinals. I forgot to name one of my key defenders. I don't know how I leave out Boris Johnson. Right?
Oh.
Boris Johnson was in that team also.
Or under 14 team as well?
Well, no, the under 14 team, I think Boris played for Hughenden in the under 14 team. Marvelly wasn't in the under 14 competition then. So we had players like Kevin Eldermeyer on our team. Bigger, they call Donovan. What's Donovan's surname? I don't remember Donovan's surname. But we had a few guys from Marvelly playing for Permacal then.
Okay.
And then when we moved to the under 16, Marvelly came back in the competition. So Eldermeyer and the guys from Marvelly went back to Marvelly. And that's when Boris came to Permacal and, we started there. Right. So, of course, we went to the semifinals again. We were knocked out by Marvelly by our own player, Kevin Eldermeyer. Scored on us, beat us 1-0 in the semifinal.
And this is under 16, right?
This is under 16.
Yeah.
Right. During this time we had like a knockout competition playing during the minor league.
Right.
And I don't remember what the name of that knockout competition was, but we played against Medhaven, right? Wagga team.
Yeah, David Hunt.
So at this time, I think Alric Clark was a part of that setup.
The setup there, yes.
Yes. So this is when he saw me, right, playing.
Alric Clark.
Yes, this is when he saw me now playing.
Because he's at Norman Manley.
Send
you home.
Send me home. Send me home. So, he saw me playing President Cup for Pembroke and was shocked. Decided to pull me into the school team now, which
right. That is the Norman Manley team which was playing second because they weren't in.
No, we weren't in Manning Cup. We're in the secondary league at that point in time. And when I was selected now, I started to show him some players in the school who were soccer players. You have players like Garfield Shaw. Them call him One Left. I heard even Chippy Morgan was talking about Shaw yesterday, and I was laughing.
Oh.
Yes, so we had players like Garfield Shaw, Mario Gordon, Andy Facey. We had quite a few good players that were in the school that weren't playing because we had the tracks guys going out and representing the school, getting some 8 love and some 10 love coming back home. And we were just laughing, so know that we got our opportunity now and we decided to get rid of most of the tracksman them.
You decided to get rid of the tracksman?
Yes, send back the tracksman them to the tracks coach and started to show even the coach himself some younger players in the school who are soccer players. These are like the Andy Faces and so forth, younger players, but good enough. Gabidan, Clubzan, we had a nice team,
Okay.
that team went to the finals.
Of the secondary school competition.
Went to the finals.
Yes.
We lost the finals to Edith Dalton 1-0. So this is where my coach, this is his chance to get back at me because I always mount him, coach. Remember, I run me home at 8th grade, 9th grade, and 10th grade. So
Yeah.
we lost the finals 1-0 to Edith Dalton. And the coach said, yo, it was your fault, him say me busy, I wave to my girlfriend in the stands,
So were you waving to your girlfriend in the stand?
Well, I can't recall waving to anybody, but you don't know you're in the finals, your first time playing into the national stadium, so excited, people shouting you from all angles. Yes, you're focusing the game, but yet you're acknowledging some people,
Yes.
We lost 1-0, right? And of course, you had a knockout competition also, right? We went to the finals in the knockout competition again. Boom, who were playing again? Edith Dalton.
Edith Dalton, yes.
Yes. So we won the knockout 1-0, and it's from there that we put Norman Manley on the map when it comes on to football.
Okay.
Right? So
And this
that's
again,
the first.
just remind people, this is while Norman Manley is in the secondary school competition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We put them on the map. Myself and, as I said, Garfish, Murray, and a few other guys. So after Norman Manley, I don't remember who was coaching JC at that point in time, and a few of us were selected to come and train for JC. At that point in time, he had players like, I think, Dwayne Johnson playing. So this would be the 1989 Mining Cup season, right?
Okay.
So we had quite a few of us that went to JC and started training.
To try and make the JC team.
Yes, to try and make the JC team. For myself, I wasn't really comfortable, coming from a co-ed school, going to a all-boys school. Nothing against JC and my JC brothers, but as I said, coming from a co-ed school, I just never felt comfortable. I trained the first day, and then I heard that Frank Brown was asking for us. This was for Excelsior now.
Yes.
Right. So right away, I spoke to a few of my friends, and I'm like, yo, Bridging, Excelsior, me I go, So I went to Excelsior. It was funny because
Anyone else from the team, or you were the only one from the team that
no,
went?
I had about Charles Jackson, Peter Virgo, and of course some of the younger youths that were in like a year behind. They followed us, like my goalkeeper Desmond Dunchi, Andy Facey. Those guys came after and came to Excelsior.
Okay, from Norman Manley.
From Norman Manley.
Okay.
Right. So 89, very good crop of players. Alan Skill Cole, Walter Boyd, Chris Bailey, Danayo Smith, Russian Tanker, which is Polka Dot, Bradley Sadler.
This is the 89 Excelsior team, the Walter Boyd.
Yes, right. 89.
Because this was a team after Ifidel Hamilton had left.
Yes.
Okay.
So training with the team, doing well, working that wing back, only to find out that you have to sit out a year.
Although you're coming from a secondary school, you have to sit out a year in those times?
Okay. Yes. I think that was year the past rule that you had to sit out a year. So basically, my train all season.
Whoa.
Sharpen up Walter Boyd, sharpen up Chris Bailey, sharpen up all those guys, to win the Manning Cup.
Oh, so the team won the Manning Cup in 89?
The team won the Manning Cup in 89.
Okay, but you were not a part of the team.
Well, a part of the squad, but not a part of the team because I had to sit out a year. But even though I was sitting out a year, I was still training with the team.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So of course we won the the Manning Cup. We lost the
Walker
Oliver
Cup.
Shield. We lost the Oliver Shield to Rossies. Then beat with bad.
Wait, how bad?
Very bad. Very bad. I think it was something like 6-1 or something like that over both legs.
That's the 89 Rossi's team.
Yes, that's 89 Rossi's team.
Okay, so what that means then is that you really only got to play one season of Manning
I
Cup,
only got to play one season of Manning Cup.
which would be 90.
1990.
Okay, so how did that season go?
So the 1990 team, we had players who came back. Walter Boyd again, Chris Bailey, Dana Hugh Smith, Kevin Keegan, Fabian Watkins, my skipper, Mark Coombs, Arville Bobby Jackson, again Boris Johnson.
Oh,
Yes, who else? Just to name a few, you know. My goalkeeper, Ryan Dawes. We had a few players that came from Edith Dalton that came to Excelsior that we played against in the finals. Players like the keeper, Maurice Ponal, one of Marvelly, I'll call him my brother, Andrew Reid. Andrew Reid passed away. Rest in peace, my brother. Who else? You know, quite a few players. So we had a decent team. And you know, we're tip 2 in the Manning Cup. Win everything.
Frank Brown was still the coach?
Frank Brown was still the coach, you know. But it's funny though. We played Camperdown in the semifinals. We lost 2-1. A game that we should have won maybe about 6-1 or 6-2.
Why you say that now? Because I'm very sure the champion players would not agree with that, you know.
Well, to tell you the truth now, my brother, that was a mud and water game. And them say you learn from your experience, you learn from your mistakes, you know. Walter Boyd, breakaway, beat the keeper maybe about 2-3 times, hitting the ball into an empty goal with stopping the water. You know, it was just a crazy semifinals, right? You know, I have to give Camperdown them credit. You know, it was a decent game. It was a decent game, right? Camperdown went on to the finals. I think they lost to Charlie Smith. They lost to 1990.
Okay, someone is suggesting that is asking if Frank Brown or Oliver Clue was your coach in 19.
Frank Brown.
Okay, here you go.
Frank Brown. And of course, I have to touch on to Frank Brown too, you know, my brother, because he played a big role in my time at Excelsior. You know.
Yeah.
I
know the Unsung Foundation. Let me just plug this because the Unsung Foundation went to look for him on Sunday because you know he's visually impaired and to see how they can so.
But we also have a Excelsior Association who is very tight, you know, players from 1989 and 90, even before, who are still tight with him. You know, he had his birthday and you know, I saw a few people turned out, you know, Chudu Francis, one of our keeper, Ryan Dawes, another keeper, just to name a few, you know. Yeah, man, and whatever they do is posted so everybody can see what's happening, because the love for Frank Brown is really like a father figure for a lot of players, even for myself, right? It's funny that after I left Manly, right, my mom was like, you know, it's time to go and work, right? And I found myself at Excelsior, and she said, okay, not much money there, but found the school fee and support for the first year. After the first year, my second year now, this is the year that I should be playing.
Right.
Mommy said, yo, I have no more money for Senegal school.
Oh, so this would be actual third year, but second year playing.
Yes. As I said, I only played I only spent 2 years at Excelsior.
Right. 1 year you didn't play.
1 year I didn't play. And this is the year now I'm supposed to play. And mom told me that, yo, you better go work.
Wow.
Right. So, I sat down and I talked to Frank Brown, I talked to the birds, so Mr. Smith, and tell him that, I'm going to leave school, because, the funds is not there. And, Frank Brown's like, no, whatever, we have to work out. We'll work out something that, just get your bus fare and get to school, and we'll work on other things.
Let me help you. Let me just, because we're at the 30-minute mark, so let me just take a couple of comments less. We get a flood of them and I can't. Leonie Harris says, proud of you, nephew. Ryan LFC says, Patrick Reid, how is your family doing? And then Caitlin said, blessings, Mr. Reid, more fire. And then Braxton Iris says, big nose, morning, sir. Blessing to you all. But then he says, big boss, that is a typo, suggest he said, but I don't think it is a typo. I think
You're mocking me, man. Braxton, I'm a big brother, man.
yeah, man. Bless
Enough
up.
respect, man.
DR Hero says, blessed fire, Kipling family checking in.
Yes,
And
man.
then RN Har says, it's me, Neil, spelling bee champion. Memories. So just giving you those shout out from those persons
Okay.
in their comments and things. Yeah, so continue. So Frank Brown actually had you come back to Excelsior, though your mother could not afford the school fee. He said just get bus fare, come, and then they'll take care of the rest. So what happened
Yes.
after that? Did you actually play or it didn't work out?
So it actually worked out, because we had lunch coming to school, so I didn't have to worry about that. So the team was fed, lunch and so forth. So, and of course you have players who are really close to you, and I'm on squeeze a little thing here and there. The skill call, the Kevin Keegan, as brothers, we share,
Yeah.
So if a man do have it, the next man make sure say him alone not eat, everybody eat, So we had a tight knit of players together at Excelsior.
Okay, so you actually played the 91 season.
90.
Oh, okay, so that is the 90 season, the one season that you played.
The one season I played.
Right. Okay, all right. So once you say you left Excelsior now, what was next in the journey for Patrick Reid?
But before I leave Excelsior, a lot of people didn't know that I played even softball. The year 89, I went to Excelsior and I couldn't play Manning Cup. Frank Brown was also the coach of the softball team.
Okay. So you ended up playing softball for Excelsior.
I ended up playing softball for Excelsior also. Won all schools.
Okay.
Excelsior. Right? A lot of people didn't know that. Right? But moving on. So after Excelsior, right? It's time to go out and work. I started to work with the JDF as a civil servant running stores. I was playing in the Civil Service League. This would normally take place at Jesse Sierra Park. Maybe a lot of people not familiar with Jesse Sierra Park. It's off Mullines Road, right by Premix, that turn in there, almost across from, was it on bowling that road name? But Premix. If you know Premix is on Mullines Road, it's that turn that takes you around to Jesse Sierra Park. So at this point in time now, I decided to, represent my community at the Sid Bartlett level, right? Because I went up the ranks. I play almost all the competitions, right? Right. So yes, after high school, play for Permacal. First year, we got knocked out by Port Royal in the semifinals. I played a second year and got knocked out by Brownstone in the semifinals. Right. At this point in time, we had a few elders within the community who used to play for Harborview, George Stewart, I'm calling Bruiser, He said, I don't think he should play another season of Sid Bartlett. Right? I think he should step it up to Major League. So I said, okay. Like I said, back in the days, I didn't have much people rooting for me. Right? Most of my decisions I made were basically on my own. Right? People may come and talk to me and, suggest certain things. So I'm like, majority of the players who left Permacall went to Constant Spring. Players like Lincoln Tuff, his brother Gully Perch, Andrew Wilson, Mooney, Agri Henry, Dean Pratt. All these guys left Permacall and went to Constant Spring. But George said, guess what? Let's take it away from the inner city and let's go east. So he took me to Harborview.
He might really call Constant Spring inner city.
let's leave the inner city and go outside. So
man in the Constant Spring group beat, say
no, man, them can't beat me, man. None of them can beat me. Them love me like cook food,
All in Constant Spring inner city, and the man right across from Immaculate, man.
No, Virgin. Well, Spring was the uptown team. Them would have called Spring the uptown team,
Yeah.
Because most of the teams around us was like the Marvel, the UN, and the Doing Park and so forth, the Waterhouse. That was in the surrounding.
But I understand what you mean. So you went out east to Harborview.
I went out east to Harborview. At this point in time, they had Jeffrey Maxwell coaching Harborview. They said, when I went there, a lot of people say, yo, Jeffrey not really coach well for youth, senior players and so forth, So I'm like, okay, no matter. Started training at this point in time. We were training over by Flour Mill with the Harborview team while the Harborview field was being looked after. So this Harborview team, I'm telling you, packed with players, right? Players like, I'll start from up front. You have Richard Cook. You have Headley Leng, which is Booker Sess. You have Robert Hall, which is Ratty. We have Onandi Lowe. We had in the middle Vivian Blake, Calvin Murray, which is Tigana, that played for Arden. We had Neil Stewart, who played for Dunoon. We had Denton Shedden. Denton Shedden came to Harborview at that point in time. Who else we had in the middle? We had quite a few people in the middle. Buster, can't leave out Buster. And at the backyard, Andrew Bauer Hines, Michael McIntosh, myself at right back, and Raja Bancroft, which is Bibi Gardner, bigger brother.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was like the team that was starting, and we're playing and competition going on, and you have people on the sidelines to talk to you, and people come and say, yo, my youth, when Cabra coming up, your game gone, because Cabra was the right back for Harborview. But Cabra was away in school. Freddie Butler was away in school. I forgot that we had even Lyde Barker. Lyde Barker was in that team also. He left and represented the Montreal Impacts.
Oh yeah. Lyde Barker, yes.
Lyde Barker was in that team also. So you had people on the sidelines, rant and rave. My youth, you're good at wing back, but when Cabra come, your game gone.
Yeah.
Tito from Harborview, a good friend of mine, always come to me on the sideline and say, General, fools rushing, because I used to talk hard, right? He said, come man and stop. Jackie, man. And when I start implement that to my game now, of course, them say when you touch the field, your first tackle is supposed to be your hardest tackle. right? Make the forward know that you're there. So after my first tackle is so hard, when I come across the second time now, I'm serious me I come hard again. I'm come on my jack him.
Okay.
Right? I come on my jack him and start to take the ball. So, you know, big up Tito, my Harborview brethren, you know, Paul Goosey Bennett, you know, them people are from time to time, them always in my back, yes, you work it. So, you know, we went to the semifinals that year.
Of Major League?
Major League, yes.
Yeah.
We went to the semifinals and Freddie came back and Cabra came back and Jeffrey had to make a decision. Right?
To start Cabra or to start Patrick?
Well, guess what? Patrick was playing so good that he held his position at right back and Jeffrey moved Cabra to midfield.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah.
Right? So we played against Tivoli Gardens in the semifinal. Tivoli had a player that they imported from overseas named Tino. Big white guy. I'm telling you, man, this guy.
Roger Reid was on that team, right?
Roger Reid, all of them was on that team. Ian Fogo. They had a good team. They had a good team.
Roger Reid just sent in a message saying, big up, Mr. Reid.
Yes, my name stick rather big up, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. They came with a forward named Tino. I'm telling you, this white guy, big and strong, and he scored on us. You know, Tivoli beat us in the semifinals. And
they got promoted to the Premier League.
And they got promoted to the Premier League.
Okay.
So, all right. Our second season now.
How old are you at this time? Because you're around 2021.
Around 2021, that point in time. 21.
You were called to the under 23 at this time?
I was called to the under 23 when I left and went to Constant Spring.
Okay, all right. So continue the second season until we get to.
Yes. So
the second season,
the second season again. We went to the semifinals, and we ran into Constant Spring. 60 and all of my brethren them, and you know, Constant Spring beat us. Constant Spring beat us in the
semifinals.
In the semifinals.
And they got promoted.
Yes. Right? No, sorry. It was Constant Spring that got promoted before Tivoli Gardens. Because when Constant Spring got promoted, 60 was saying, yo, we'll play Premier League now, you can come. So to me, I didn't feel good knowing that Constant Spring just beat me in the semifinal. And the next year I'd move to Constant Spring. No, I decided to play another season, which Tivoli beat us this time around.
Okay.
Right? Tivoli beat us this time around. So, of course, the level of football that I was playing, and most of the youths when I grew up with were playing National League at that point in time. And I was saying that the level that I should be playing, if I really want to get seen, should be the Premier League. So that's when I left Harborview, you know.
Yeah. So right, because this is now your second season, and like Donald Stewart said, he came to Harborview.
Yes.
And that also posed some challenges in terms of your own playing time.
No, I left before Donald Stewart came.
Okay.
So it's when I left, then Donald came.
Okay, so you went to Constant Spring after your second season at Harborview.
So I went to Constant Spring after my second season at Harborview. Here's where I have to come and prove myself again, because at right back at Constant Spring, Dean Sewell.
Yeah.
Right? Dean Sewell. So I think Dean was.
And you weren't going to get any play at right back? No, we Dean Sewell. Position change.
Guess what? Guess what happened now, my brother? I started playing at right back. Right? Okay. I started playing at right back. But before I even go there, let me go back to Harborview. Because this is where I moved from wing back to center. We were playing I think this was a knockout game at what's the name of this club here? They used to play behind Immaculate Backgate. You remember that club there? They used that field. Shortwood. We're playing Shortwood in a knockout game, Harborview versus Shortwood. And I don't remember if it was Boa or Black and Mike's who got a red card. Right? And I decided to come inside and play the center half for Harborview. Right? That game, we won that game. I've never seen a team offside so many times because when I'm on the field, brother, I'm like a leader. Even though I'm not the skipper, very vocal. When I step across those white lines, very vocal. So even when I'm playing wing back, I'm calling the shots for my center half because I can see straight across the line. Right? I can say, Boa, stand up. And anytime I shout, they're gonna listen. Because I'm joining the line. I'm joining the line. I can see that the forward is ahead of us. Right? I'm saying stand up. Offside, offside, offside. I've never seen a game offside so many times. Right? We end up winning that game. Right? So like I said, moving forward back to Constant Spring now, coming in at wing back, you know, that Constant Spring team, I'm telling you, good crop of players, right? But players like Charlie Secret, Trevor Lamb, Chippy McDonald. We had this guy from the country that came in, Garrett Top, Shushu Brown, Lincoln Tuff, Steve Stevens, that's Puny, Charlie, another Charlie.
Moses was
Yes,
there.
yeah, man. I'm gonna reach you on the bucket, man. Me not the middle.
Eventually.
Yes, so you had Chris Zadie, Nick Zadie,
Wasn't Rajalin there?
Roger Lynn.
Or he
That
came
was
after?
like his last year at spring,
Okay.
right? Who else? Then you had Martin Batts, Tony Reynolds, Derek Jordan. These were like the elders in the team, right? Young youth, fit, fast, covering a lot of grounds. So, you know, those guys were getting a little bit older, right? So, needed fresh blood in the team, right? So, I was moved to center half, right? Played some games with Bats, and then I think Bats got injured, and then it was myself and Moses Brown,
Yeah.
right? And you know, we lock shop. We started to lock shop, so we end up playing more games together. So the setup now was myself, Moses Brown, Dean Sowell, Cleveland Blake, which is Blakey.
Blake, yeah.
Yeah. So that was what was the team. Of course, we went to the finals, right? We went to the finals against Reno, and I will continue and say this until this day that we were robbed. You know, we were robbed in that finals. You know,
Yeah.
everybody saw it for themselves. You know,
Except the arena people. The arena people, they were
except,
asking
but
because
guess what? No, so
remember, you had Jared Park. You know how the game ended at Jared Park.
oh, we lost at Giant Park 1-0, and you know that was on our own behalf. You know, we gave it away again.
2 legs, so
Two legs.
you can't really say you're robbed, you know, because it's 2 legs, so you got time.
I got robbed in the first leg, right? And we made simple mistakes in the second leg that cost us.
Okay.
Right. So the first leg, you know, we scored. Up to now, I still can't understand this. I played made from the left side to the right side to Lincoln Tuff, who went almost to the goal line with this ball, cut it back. Trevor Lamb scored with about
Offside.
not offside, with like 3 players on the goal line plus the goalkeeper. Right? Score. Referee say no goal, and the stadium erupt. All sort of things start to show. So we start paying attention to what's happening. By that point in time, Reno sent spot the ball and gone.
Right, Hector Linton score from half line.
But not really say half line. When we look up Hector Linton and it's just Hector Linton and Marvin Chin alone down there. Boom, him score. Ref say goal, and believe me, man, the stadium erupt.
Yeah.
But give Reno them props. They won that year.
But it was this season now you got called to the under 23.
This is the season now that I got called to the under 23 program.
Yeah, so tell us about that, because you have had some very difficult times in terms of even people in the system saying things about your people involved in officiating, and that affected probably your progress. So tell us about that under 23, how things went, what happened, and just how your career evolved.
So the under 23 program that I was called to, they were preparing for I think it was the 96 Olympics. So this was about 95. They told me that they wanted me to play 2 years. I only could play 1 year. And they told me that they wanted me to play 2 years. So, I was dropped after being selected. I was dropped out of the squad.
So why you had to play 2 years? Or why?
No, they wanted me to add if you can play 1 year, you should play the 1 year and come out of the system. But this is what they said.
That's what you mean. So what they were basically saying, that your age would not allow you to play 2
years.
So they're not going to let you play 1 year.
They didn't give me a chance to play 1 year.
Whoa.
Right. So, okay, we were dropped out of that program, and I got called to the senior program. Right. So getting called to the senior program now, I'm like, yes, this is what I've been, trained for all this time. At this time, I was about 23, 24, right? Way before a lot of players came into the system, and I remember our first training, they put me in, and they put me in to play attacking midfield. Right? Attacking midfield. This is that training. They put me in to play attacking midfield. Out of my zone. But, knock it, and training done, which was good. The second week again, they call us back again. And I'm there on the bench, just sitting and observing, not getting any game. And then, they put me in for maybe about the last 10 minutes or so. And, it was kind of upsetting to me, right? Yeah. You guys call me into the program, and you guys not giving me a fair chance, At that point in time, we had, I think it was Howie Bell was a part of the program. And, me step aside. As I say, I don't have anybody to talk for me. So I have to talk for myself and defend myself. So I said, just open it. So I don't understand how the man them call me at the program as a defender. And them not give me a chance at defense. The third week, I'm not in the program. Right? The third week, I'm not in the program. So it's like, I'm not supposed to say anything. Right? I'm not in the program. And I see they bring in players after players after players. Not no players, but you're supposed to know your standard when you're playing football. You're supposed to know where you're at when you're playing this game. Yeah. Right? And you can size up with almost everybody who is there. You can say, all right, yeah, I know this man is better than me. I know that man better than me. But, not no players, them not select themselves. right? They didn't select themselves, so I can't not the players, not the system. Right. So from there, you know, it kind of turned me off from the aspiration of representing the country. The call alone, you know, let me know that guess what, Patrick? You have the level just like everybody else.
But let me ask you a question. When you spoke to Howie Bell, could it be deemed as, I don't know, because sometimes it's not the question you ask, is how you ask it. Do you think you ask the question in a way that he could have seen it as being disrespectful? You know, because that, I mean, I don't know, because sometimes you have to almost know the context of the whole conversation. Because if you said to a coach, you know, I'm a center back at Constant Spring. The one time I was put on the field, I played as a attacking midfielder. What is the reason behind that? Why I don't get to play the center back? I don't know how it was done, so I'm just trying to find out so you can clarify for the people. Like,
Well, it just basically camp over now, we're going home, you know, and you know, just talking, coach. You know, I don't understand how you guys brought me into the program as a defender and I'm not getting a fair now.
okay,
That's basically it.
okay. So you don't think it was said in any way that could have caused any offense? Because obviously it triggered some other reactions in your own estimation. Because what you're alluding to is that this could be one of the reasons why you were never called back.
Probably talk too much, but as I said, I have to talk for myself because I had nobody to talk for me. Right. So that it was just funny. It was just funny. You know, my record speak for itself throughout my career. Right. All these players, I'm beating them from early age straight up to the Premier League. Right. You know, what people just casting a blind eye.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, of course I was axed from the program.
So because
Never
from
got
that
called
point you
again.
were never called back to any Jamaica team at
Never
any
called
time.
back. Never called back. And this point in time, Rene is like when Rene just came to Jamaica.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was called by Rene. I was called by Rene. And Rene went away back to Brazil. I don't remember what he went away back to Brazil for, but I was asked out of the program.
So this is after the initial call, then Rene called you again.
No, Rene
At
called.
the same
That's
time.
when I was called.
Rene called you.
When
Okay.
Rene came, yes.
So
Rene called me.
he went back to Brazil, and then who the powers that be took you out of the program while he was away.
Take me out of the program while he was away.
Okay.
Right. So, you know, as I say, it kind of cut me certain way that me say that, you know what, I didn't really too fussy about the National League no more due to the politics that was happening. My next focus is to win the Premier League. Right. Because I've gone to the final. I felt what the final was like. So I know say if I get there again, I should get a good hold on to this this competition.
Right. So you actually, because you moved from Constant Spring and then you transferred to Waterhouse.
Yes. So after 3 years at Constant Spring, we went to the semifinals again. Right. That year they came with a new rule. We finished fourth, but due to how I think it was Seba or Arnett that went to the mid-season final, they got that fourth spot over Constant Spring. Right. So we went to semifinals. We went to our semifinals. We went back to our semifinals with Constant Spring. You know, I messed up. As I said, you know, all the interest in the national program gone out the door now. So it's like I just don't care. right? I'm not afraid to say, that we made some mistakes in that semifinal. Myself to be blamed. Not, me not throw nobody else under the bus, but I would take full responsibility for what
Yeah.
happened. You know,
And so it was
and
after that that you move now
it's
to
after that now that I'm like, what to do? Only to hear Jeffrey Maxwell was asking for me
at Waterhouse.
at Waterhouse.
Right. Because he had coached you at Harborview.
He had coached me as a youth at Harborview,
Yes.
right? So I'm a little bit older, a little bit more experienced now. I heard Jeffrey Maxwell was asking for me. Um, that Waterhouse team, I'm telling you, not a powerful team. Where the likes of Kevin Lamy, um, Alberto Frey, Leah
Er-
Harton, Hugh Bingy Blair,
Irvino English.
Irvina English,
Was
Damian Cole.
Craig White was there?
Yes, I took Craig White
Constant
from
Spring.
Constant Spring with me to Waterhouse,
Yeah.
right?
O'Neill,
One
O'Neill,
long
O'Neill,
green.
O'Neill, O'Neill, wing back, turn Rasta now, O'Neill Thompson.
O'Neill.
O'Neill, yeah, man, he was there too. He's a Rasta now. O'Neill, but what they call him again, man? Oh, jeez. He had won the lotto. I won some car. He won one of those Benz or BMW, something like that at courts, one of those places. I forgot his name. Somebody from what? O'Neill is his first name though. The people
Okay,
from West know him because he was actually from, I think he was one of those West baller. Oh gee.
okay.
But he used to
Yes,
play. He was a part of that Waterhouse team. But go ahead. Somebody's going to tell us in the chat. But
yeah,
yeah,
man. Hugh Bingy Blair, Boris Johnson again,
right, Boris Johnson. Yeah.
Boris Johnson, Kevin Eldermeyer, Marvin Barkley, Marlon Nash, rest in peace, Marlon Nash. Irvina English, rest in peace, Irvina English. Um, Kurt Martin, call him Gunman. Very youthful team. Players like Dominic Spalding was also in that team. Carl Binger was also in that team. Raymond Dijab Webb was also in that team.
Right.
You know, yeah, so that team went on and won the Premier League. We played in 4 finals that year. Won 3. We lost the Federation Cup to Harborview.
Yes.
Yes, but 94 I won the Federation Cup with Harborview 94 and come back and lost to them 98.
Okay. Okay. Somebody saying Ian Belford was a
Ian
part.
Belford came after.
Okay.
Belford that came after.
But you have had some other things. I mean I've one of the persons there at work. They said basically what they're saying is how you probably asked the question. Though you had to speak, could have come across like you're questioning their integrity, and probably that is why they may have made that decision. So though there's an understanding that really it's a reasonable question, but maybe listen, we call this man, um, and he's questioning why we do this kind of a thing. So I don't know. You understand me? So
Probably I don't know,
yeah, yeah,
but it's funny. It's funny though, man. Even though we're talking this morning, you know, people who were supposed to be, standing up for you, right? Who you think would be looking out for the best of your interests, we're stabbing you in the back,
yeah.
right? We're stabbing
Explain
you in
that
the back.
because I'm saying that if I'm a manager, say I'm a manager of a team that you represent, you get called to the national program, you come back to train and say, listen, what happened to you? I mean, how come you're not being called back? And you said, boy, because they played me at at attacking midfield. I would probably, as a team manager, call and say, listen, I just spoke to my player who was a part of your program, and he said that when he came for training, he he was um, put out on the field to play as an attacking midfielder. I don't know if you're aware, but he's an actual centre back or a right back, and he doesn't play that position. And I would, you understand me? I
Yeah.
mean, who was? It's not that we have agents, but I think in terms of teams, a lot of those that kind of dialogue needs to come from the club that that you're probably representing. I don't know if that was done or that is in there.
At that point in time, I was representing Constant Spring.
Yeah.
And you should know, a lot of people don't like Constant Spring.
Yeah.
Them say we're uptown rich team,
There.
right? But I
Well,
work for Ghetto, you would play for Constant Spring.
yeah, which is part of the issue. So
Yes.
yeah. Yeah, but because the reason why I ask this is that, and I guess when you hear people in the diaspora speak, it's part of the problem because there is this idea that people need to be given a chance. And so I sometimes I feel like certain teams, their players are seen like them man they all right.
Yep.
Them man they
That's
all right. So make we give some other youth a chance. And it's more giving people a chance than sometimes putting out who is performing the best. And what I mean by that is that people would rather give somebody else a chance than call Patrick because Patrick is at Constant Spring, a uptown team, and them have money, them a get paid. What to the youth, then we are suffer. Make we see if we can help them. And football can't be done on that and that thing, football must be done on merit, which is the same problem people sometimes have when they're saying that if there's a high quality player overseas, O'Neal Thomas was his name.
They came after.
Thank you, Claudia. O'Neal Thomas. Sorry about that, people, right? So if a man from Canada is a Jamaican and he's better than, say, our central midfielder, don't say I'm going to give the man at Waterhouse a chance because them man they are Canada and them make money already. People must be selected based on merit.
Yeah.
Are you the best in the position? And if you're the best, you start. Whether you're a part of Constant Spring, Harborview, Tivoli, Waterhouse, that's how the football needs to be selected. Whether you're playing in Major League, schoolboy football, if you're the best Jamaican in the position and you play Pepsi, you're supposed to start. That's how I see it. I don't know if your views are different on that. And
I agree with you 100%.
yeah. But I know you have had some other just in terms of your whole career as well, because I know you had a very hard time with we kind of spoke about this, about even officials,
Yes, because as I said, people that was supposed to be looking out for you, even from your own community, people in high position, right? We're passing some remarks, telling Jeffrey Maxwell as my coach certain things, Patrick smoking coke and all those things. I'm like, really? Right? Jeffrey Maxwell that draft me up, draft up Boris Johnson, draft up Kevin Eldemeyer, Boris, my brother.
So somebody tell the coach that you're taking coke?
Yes, man. So I'm on coke, I'm on high drugs, and Jeffrey him not hold back nothing. He might tell you straight. So I say, coach, so let me know who I tell you them things, Him say, no, some people some were rape. I said, coach, nobody will look out for me. There's no way they could come to you and tell you these things. There's no way they could come to you and tell you these things. Right?
So what would make somebody say, of all the things, what would make somebody say something like that? Somebody just get up one day and say, Patrick, like what would possess a person
Mannings, man, you see, as a youth growing up in the community that I came from, Pembroke, I talk to everybody, up to the madman on the street. Me and him sit down on the corner and I talk. The crackhead, the robber, everybody. As a youth in the community, as a player, the ball line of the community, I sit down and I talk to everybody. So if a man see me sit down and talk to a cokehead, that mean me a cokehead.
Okay.
Right? People get the wrong concept of people off of them own opinion. And they don't know the truth to the story.
Okay. So how did that affect your relationship with Jeffrey Maxwell?
Well, I want to tell you now, so we won the competition 98, right? 99, this was like the same back and forth with me and the coach. The coach went for Nandi, he went for Anglin, he went for, I think it was Loxley Reid, He brought these people into the team now. All these players have been beaten throughout the season. He brought these people into the team. So after winning 98,
yeah,
it come like me never really get a chance to defend when me win.
Oh, okay.
Because he brought in Nandi now to play my position, which Nandi was a forward at that point in time. Right? He brought Nandi to come and play my position. And I was on the bench. Right? So basically for almost the whole of 99 season, I was on the bench. And, for me, things took turn for the worse. We had a practice match against Boys Town over by Waterhouse. And early into the game, we had a head collision, myself and this player by the name of Kurt Brady. After the head collision, we both went down. He got up and collapsed again. And by the time them could have run to the van with him, he was gone.
Oh.
And that kind of shook me up. That kind of shook me up that year. Right? And you don't know, you have players love the mustering. Right? Man start calling me murderer. Man start calling me killer. Man start calling me all sort of things. You laugh it off and go along. But, at the same time, his parents were cross. We went up to court for this. It was ruled out as negligence, an accident.
Oh, you actually were taken to court for it, though it was a football?
I was also taken to court. Who represent me? Boris Johnson. Who represent me? Boris Johnson and Jeffrey Maxwell. They came to court with me.
Whoa.
So after that, I was a good head of the ball, right? And from that ball kick, and I said, Patrick, some man started. Man say, yo, you take man for 4 minutes, I jump with him, make you butt me down like you butt down with him, knee, man. Some man say it out a joke, but it hurts. It was an accident.
All right. Boris Johnson is here. He's saying that he was your lawyer.
Boris Johnson.
So people, if you want a defense lawyer, you understand me, you can call the district attorney, Boris Johnson, or attorney Boris Johnson.
Yes, man. But Boris just up the morning, and say, yo, P, come with your court. And Jeffrey Maxwell met us there. And we sat there, even though I went across and apologized to the parents, them still never take it too wonderful,
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, that kind of just mash up my 99 season. Being on the bench, this happened, Yes,
So
and
you actually stayed at Waterhouse for the entire season, even though that happened?
Yes, I stayed at Waterhouse for the entire season. Limited games. You know, semifinals. Tivoli that I beat in the semifinals the year before beat us back. You know, with me on the sideline. Quite a few players who started and won the competition was also on the sideline.
Yeah, but I find it like, just listening, just some of the things like, one, why would a referee like go to a coach and, you understand me, and say that kind of a thing? Like, what bearing does it have on him?
You know, sometimes when you drink too much,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
talk
yeah.
all sort of foolishness, you know.
And the fact that a coach would probably allow that to affect his decision making concerning you. Or is it fair to say that though you won the title and on the low was a better centre back, and I think Craig White was still there, is it that they were better? Um
I want
or
to say better. I want to say better. But at that point in time, Nandi was playing forward.
oh,
Nandi left centre half and started to play forward.
yeah, okay. That's the
Man, is
scenario.
man, any team I drop in, you know. Any team I drop into, I'm a plus, not a minus, a plus. Bring a lot of things. Good head of the ball. I feel I had one of the longest throw in the game.
Right. Yeah, I remember that you used to
The
take very
close,
long.
I said the closest person came to me was Walid from Olympic Garden.
Yeah.
Right. I remember destroying Tivoli Garden over by Harborview with a long throw. Up to now, Edson Scott had hurt him. Him saying not touch the ball. But the ball was thrown over his head with Rambo, Marco McDonald, all of those guys fighting to get the ball out of the net. And that was from a long throw.
I hear somebody asking here if DJ Johnny Cool was on the 1990 Excelsior team.
Yes, he was.
Okay. Okay. So let me ask, I mean, what have been, because I know you believe that you could have probably gone further. And this is one of the conversations that many people have. People say that if you're, you'll always hear people say of footballers in the past, but if this man was, especially the younger youth, if he was so good, why he didn't? If he was so good, why he didn't? If he was so good, why he wasn't?
A
What
lot
are
of
some of the
obstacles right to
things?
jump over.
Yeah, what are some of the things that sort of affected your career? I mean, that you think like the youngsters coming up now need to probably um, better understand, appreciate, know how to deal with these things, lest they kind of underachieve in terms of their professional footballing career.
2000, 2000, I think it was 2000. Then he came and he played 99, left and he went to Arnott Gardens. So this was the year 2000. Waterhouse playing Arnott Garden over by Waterhouse. You know, they had the gang of five plus Nandi gang of six, the Chinswood whole works. So you had some scouts. You had some scouts who came down from Belgium for that game, right? At the end of the game, they selected myself, Leah Orton, and Gerald Neal from Arnott Garden. They call him Kunte Kente.
Yeah, yeah, man. No question.
Yes. They selected the three of us to go to Belgium on trials. Ask us what happened, you know.
Well, I'm going to ask what happened.
GFF would be the right person, set of people, to answer that because, you know, it was broadcast on the radio, but yet still, I think they sent other people, which were sent back.
Hold on. Alright. So, are you aware that other persons went and were sent back? Are you assuming that other persons went? I just because it don't want to be clear now, because I want people to understand that. So the persons who were selected, the scouts came
Yeah,
at the game between Waterhouse and Arnott Gardens. At Arnott Gardens.
no, at Waterhouse.
At Waterhouse. Three
Yeah,
players were selected. Yourself,
three
Leo
players were
Hart,
selected.
and Gerald Neal. The scouts spoke to you. And then somehow
And this was even broadcast on the radio.
broadcast on the radio. Do you remember when? So we can see if we can. I don't know if it was even in the newspaper or anything, but or any of the articles. But the football federation sent 3 other person instead. And
None of us got in contact after that. The federation contact none of us.
all right, who you heard went?
Often we didn't hear who went, right? That was still under the carpet till now. But people were sent. Other people were sent.
Okay, so nobody knows. So what happened is that they
Nobody
never
knows.
had the trial. They just went to Belgium and they were sent back.
Were sent back. Those weren't the players that the scouts saw.
Whoa. So that's the next opportunity lost.
That's a next opportunity lost.
I see Boris Johnson typing in name, so he.
all right. Okay.
Yeah.
As I say, brother, I'm not come for showing up players under the bus, right? Because, as I said, them never select themselves.
So did the Belgian who came, did they actually did they actually try to reach back out to the clubs? Or they had to do it through the federation? Because I'm wondering, like,
it's probably back through the federation, and in the federation, and it's Waterhouse talking about the Garrison team.
Whoa.
So that was our next opportunity shattered.
How does one move on from that kind of a thing and continue to play the sport and play it with fun and joy and love and passion and give you all, knowing that, man, you're basically asked from the national team for asking a question, whether that is rightly or wrongly so, and then you have an opportunity to at least go on a trial, and the federation, who is supposed to support you in your own estimation, was trying to support someone else with the opportunity. And my thought is, even if they send the 3 wrong persons and they were sent back, why wouldn't they then reach out to the original persons who were requested? Wouldn't that be the appropriate thing to have done? And what did your club do about it? Because that's the other thing. Like, what do the clubs do in these situations? Because I know Jeffrey Maxwell is a pretty intelligent person. What would he have done?
Well, as I said, a lot of people didn't like Jeffrey Maxwell neither. Why? Only God knows. Right? Jeffrey Maxwell is a good coach. They may say him show off, but it's the way he bring across his things. Right?
Yeah. I remember an ex-player, Byron Earl, when we interviewed him, he was supposed to go on trial. And when the people made contact back in Jamaica, having gone to England, he signed everything. They basically, in Byron's own estimation, told a story about him that made the people change their whole mind. So I am here wondering if, like, what benefit would it be for a federation not to want its players, whether you think they're from Garrisons or wherever, to get the opportunity to go overseas? Because isn't this what the federation should want for its players?
Don't really want that, yes, man. But guess what? I wasn't a national player. Right? They came to look at the national players.
Okay, I see what you mean. So they came to look at national players, but you guys outperformed the national players.
That's it.
I see.
That's it.
Making a lot more sense now. I'm just have a question here from someone about the whole throw. And he says, if a throw is taken and the ball go directly into the goal without touching anyone, would that be a goal? And he says he's just asking for knowledge. No, it
No.
would not be a goal.
No, it need a second touch.
Right. So I think you were trying to say Robbie touched the ball.
Robbie touched that ball. Robbie no. Robbie cry. Robbie cry so much saying that he didn't touch the ball, but the direction of the ball changed. And even if it touch Robbie, I know it probably touch Rambo. What my guy in him next
Mark,
center?
Marco
Marco
McDonald.
McDonald. One out of the three of them it touched. Right? Because this ball was thrown over his head.
Yeah. I think that is what they're saying. If it is thrown over his head, how he'd have touched it. I think what you're saying, it's going over his head and he's trying to
Yeah,
probably
he's
tip it
trying to push
over.
it outside. He's trying to push it
Yeah.
outside. We changed direction and went into the goal.
Okay. So I mean, after this happened, did you continue to play? Did you give up? Did you stop? Or did you lose
Well,
interest?
you
And
know, of course, you know, the zest for the ball game kind of dropped. You know, I went away. I went away to playing the, you know, normally a year time. Enough of the ball, as Stupid said, go into and play in the Bronx League, earn a little money and come back. When I came back, Dwayne Park got promoted to the
Premier League.
Premier League. Big sponsors and everything, and a good friend of mine, Mark Francis, he was a part of Topless Crew. You know, rest in peace, Mark. You know, someone who is always on my side. You know, maybe about 5 years older, if so much, but you know, always on my side. Talking to me is like, yo, doing it part, just come to the Premier League and you know, want some players and you know, not. I'm gonna say, you know, after all the vibes at Waterhouse, I say, you know what, let me just take a break. So I went to Donny Park. Went to Donny Park that year, and the sponsor pulled out. The sponsor pulled out, so you know, left us to be scrambling. You know, a lot of players left. I stayed out the season, you know, and then after that season, I left and I went back to Waterhouse.
Okay.
And when I went back to Waterhouse, it's a different set of treatment again now.
Yes.
Yeah. I was like the you know, call it now, the unwanted. Yes.
I guess they had a younger generation of players at this time.
Younger generation of players, which gotta need the guidance of us as senior players.
Yeah.
Right. We went to the finals again. The last to this time the last to Harborview.
Okay.
No, sorry, the last to Arnett. The last to Arnett. The last to Arnett.
This is the Damian Williams and these guys that
Yes.
with
Yes.
Capo and
Capo and Barney and all these younger guys.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got injured. I got injured in that season, early in the season. It's funny how we have a home game against I think it was Seba. We were using St. George's as our home field, St. George's backfield. Seba coming from Montego Bay, and we were late as a home team. Late. When we reach at the park, Seba players wet, warm up wet. And we have to be scrambling to, you know, get our gears on and support and try to get a warm up. Maybe after about 5-10 minutes in the game, where that spot kick. When I kicked that ball, I felt a tear in my right thigh that must have cut into a Y. You know, I had to basically start the whole of that season. It was like a cheerleader on the sideline now. Cheering on the Capo and the Barneys and Dirty Man them same way. Set of youths. After that season, you know, the management, you know, things weren't working out eye to eye for me and the management team that at that point in time. We had new management. So I'm saying, you know what? Marvelly was in the Super League. I said, you know what, let me go play a year of Super League for Marvelly. We went to the semifinals. Again, we got robbed. By who? Boys Town. That's when Boys Town came back to the Premier League.
Yeah, we always saying you get robbed. But I mean, you know, normally when a team loses,
Referee decisions, you know,
Yes.
going. You see, what we need for understand
What
is
is the
that,
difference between Rob and a referee making a mistake?
well, blatant mistake.
But
You're
it's still
supposed to get a penalty, and it's happening right now, even in the English Premier League. You know, blatant mistakes. Anything you're going to call for one team, you need to call it for the other team, right? Don't call it one-sided.
yeah, but not because it is all right. So I totally understand where you're coming from now, because I feel like the game with Arsenal both could have been given as penalties.
Arsenal got
Right?
robbed.
I don't know if that is a robbery. I mean,
Well, Mannings,
even
man.
when the game was finished, as an Arsenal fan, I said robbery. But in retrospect, you know, um, did he could have given it and he could not have. He chose
All
not,
right. Let me ask you a question, Mannings, man.
which is not robbery, really, because he chose
Mannings,
not.
man, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If you as a referee, right, you see a play and you say no foul, right? You say
Yeah.
no foul. VAR call you to go and look at the screen, right? You went on the screen and I say, okay, guess what now? I saw he was dragging the shirt a little bit, right? Why is it that when the keeper came across and fouled, what's his name again?
Martin Odegaard.
Odegaard.
Yes.
VAR came in. Why didn't they call the referee to come and take a second to take a look?
I am saying that I would have preferred, as an Arsenal fan, I agree with you. I believe that should have been the right approach. That should have
Yes,
been done. The fact that was not done,
that's total robbery, Bridget.
right?
Why you have a system and you're not using it?
But
Use it the proper way.
why,
Right?
but you have to ask the question, what reason? So it's very I do understand it, but you probably want to ask, like, what reason do the referee have to do that? But let me ask you a next question. Who are some of the forwards that you have played with in your career against? Sorry, that you think like, man, these guys always gave you, it was always a difficult matchup going up against them.
You see,
And maybe they never made it, big time, but when you played against them, you realize they could be, if they're given the opportunity, they could be as big as some of the names we hear out there.
well, the forwards that I played with, starting from Harborview, as I said, Bukases, Ratty, play with and played against. T-Got, back in the days, JDF was in the Premier League. You had players like Peter Bogle, Heineken, Tivoli Garden, you had Finney Guy, you had Nash, you had Roger Reid. Quite a few players. And as I said, my speed was my advantage. Okay, if you beat me and you don't move this ball, you seen me again.
Yeah.
You seen me again.
How difficult was it? I mean, playing against, like, let me call some of the names that I didn't hear you mention: the Byron Earl and the Chris Dyers.
Pace, as I said, I had pace just as fast as Chris Dyers, Byron. Over the years of playing against these players, I don't only play against them. I watch them, and I watch my forwards keenly. If I'm gonna play against you tomorrow, and you have a game today, believe me, I'm at your game, I'm at your game. So I study your little niche move. I set you up where I want you to go, right? If I know you're strong on your right side, guess what? All of your ball, when you go and control, you go and control it with your left foot, and you better control it good because I'm closing down this right side, right? Give you a drama. I'm gonna take this back to high school. Walter Boyd, right? On the A team, I don't remember what he did. And the coach said, guess what? You're not starting this week. And they sat them on and the coach take Walter Boyd and put him on the B team. Right? I'm like, okay, all right, Blacks. Yeah, I'm forward, way. So I go lock down Blacks. Black strong up on him left side. I say, all right. I shadow him down the line. Blacks use 2 foot. Right? When Blacks take it on him right side and turn inside, Blacks turn me inside, outside. When I'm done, training mash up. The biggest mash up I get is from Blacks.
Yes.
in training.
Yeah.
I get a one pile from Ricardo Fuller, which my friends them, they mount me from time to time. But, part of the game.
What about Chippy McDonald and Ryan Nelson in training at Constant Spring? Because, those guys like Ryan Nelson has the record for the most goal in a Premier League season still. And I mean, Chippy, Chippy was one of those footballers that him have a snapshot. If him get it,
I know all these players play. I know all these players. I played with them. So believe me, the space that other players want to give Chippy, I'm not gonna give him that space. The space that players want to give Bumpy, I'm not gonna give him that space. I was a man marker. I play all 6 positions at back, yeah? I keep 2. My first year of President Cup, which when I didn't make the team, I made it as a goalkeeper.
Okay.
So, goalkeeper, man mark, sweep, right back, left back, and central.
Okay. May I ask you a next question? What is your advice to young footballers, out there coming through, the ranks here in Jamaica so that they can make it to the highest level?
Well, it all boils back down to discipline, right? You have to do your homework, right? You have to do a lot of homework because everything is not done during your training session with the coach. After that, you need to go and do your own little juggling. You have a wall, you practice. I hear everybody talking about the youths and so forth. The basic fundamentals are killing a lot of the players. Basic control, basic passing of the ball.
Yeah.
It's killing a lot of players. And, out of fun and joke, we're talking the other day, and a man look at me and say, yo, Patrick, enough of them youth are Xbox, them a play.
Yeah.
Right? We have good youths, right? But the people around them need to keep them grounded, right? You don't make it yet, right? You have to put in the work, right? And enough of the youth, them have to have a vision too, my brother. Because you have to can vision things, to make it happen, So if you're a young youth, I say, all right, you know what? I want to make the national team. Man is man, them I think you usually lay down and vision as a youth to grow up. Yeah, man. Yeah. So you have to have a vision and have a plan. Right? Without the vision, it's not going to help you.
There are two. Well, I'm going to focus on 2 set of footballers for this last question, which is the ones who, after football, they continue in football and they're making, they're doing well. Maybe 3 categories. Then you have those who finish football, doing well, but they are not necessarily involved in football, like you, who you're involved in finances. Then you have footballers who had stellar career, at least at the local level, and today life is difficult for them. And some will say that when the money was not in the game. But you come out of there are players who came out of the same period that you came out of that are struggling today, though there were probably bigger names.
You know what?
How do you advise, players listening now so that
they can make
the transition? Yeah.
So for the youths of today, right? you need to manage your money, right? If you don't know how, find somebody who knows how. Cause it's a hurtful thing for me, Mannings, man, when I sit down and see some ballers at X a point in time in their career were eating some good food out of the football. And right now, them almost they're on zero.
Yeah.
Right? So money management, that's one thing. Yeah, I just said me not the finance now, so me even dwell upon it more. Right? It's funny. We had a conversation the other day, myself and Boris. I said, Boris, would you believe I'm still eating food off Waterhouse 25 years after playing? And it's like, how? Back then, what I did, I took my money and I built up a what you call it, a little room, kitchen and bathroom. I rented out that from my leave Jamaica. That took care of my daughter, right? I have my sisters who back home. I say I'm gonna use that and take care of the place, right? So it's what you do with your money, right, will tell in the end. So find somebody who understand the money game and let them guide them. Because what happened after football?
Yeah.
What you gonna do after football? Enough people never really sit down and think about that. What am I gonna do after football?
Yeah. But do you have these conversations? Because this is the field that you're in. Do you have these conversations with the youngsters at Excelsior, the youngsters at Norman Manley, the youngsters at Waterhouse, the youngsters in Pembroke, the youngsters playing football at Constant Spring, the places that you have been involved? I mean, because this is sound advice. Like, you have to work for money, and then you start let money work for you.
And let your money work for you.
That sounds.
Mannings, another thing, Mannings, you see, sometimes some people look at you and they come up with their own opinion of you, right? What you know about finance, them know me as a soccer player, right? But I preach it. I preach it to the youths. Still
Yeah.
preaching it to you. All right, me hear Foley say a thing the other day, right? That you have the senior players need to be policing
The
some of
junior.
these younger players, right? For myself, my little brother, I'm gonna call him name, Alex Thomas, coach of Arnett Gardens, right?
Farmer coach. Because
Former coach.
yeah, yeah.
All right, look at that. During him stint there, I see some people are blasting upon what name here, are blasting upon social media.
Alex.
Alex, I'm gonna reach out to Alex. I'm my brother. Know what your people are saying, Cause him call me big brother,
Really?
right?
I thought
Yes, people
man, I thought
blast
the
on
young,
the team man and him man. I mean, I said,
he had
John,
a
no.
young no man, he had a young team and they were playing some very good soccer in the time.
So
So I
now
don't
that
know.
when me and Alex sit down and reason, Alex I said, Patrick, me have said to you, brethren, enough for this year.
Right.
It's not for this year.
Yeah.
And people are blasting.
I am surprised that he's not there, but be that what is me. But I don't know that people criticize him because there was no relegation. He had a young team, an entirely new team for the most part. So,
Yep.
but they played well. They were in most of the games. They were past, but it is what it is. People see what they say.
I have nothing to do with Arnett,
Yeah, man, I know, man.
But
Braxton, let me just say this. Braxton is saying that he needs to talk to you, because he needs your financial advice. So,
Braxton, long time me try to get your attention, but you're not paying me no mind, Braxton. But let's do it, Yeah,
because
man.
what I
So
want you to do, because you are into, sorry to cut you, but it is important because this is actually what you do. You help in terms of financial advice. You're a financial advisor.
yes, I am.
All right. So how do people, like especially some of these players, read? Because I keep seeing players talking about the money what them get. They talk about the money that they did not get instead of what they did with the money that they got.
Yeah.
And I keep telling people, you can't live your life upset with what you didn't get. What if you live your life and wonder, what did I do
With what
with
I
what
got.
I got? Right? How can people reach out to you to either pay for this advice or to get this advice?
You know, this advice that I issue out is free, my brother, free of cost. Because, you know, by design, right? A lot of us weren't taught about finance, right? What they tell you, work hard, get a good job, and help a next man build him thing. Them never say, yo, build your own little business, right? Them not teach you those things. Even in school now, they don't teach these things, right? Them teaching the kids how to build another man business and not how to build theirs, right? So free advice here giving out, my brother. There are solutions out there, are products out there that can help these youths, right? But them have to be disciplined. Guess what? You're going to put this money and let it stay there for a period of time. Don't put it there and come back tomorrow and draw it out, right? That money will never grow, right? So, of course, free advice, my brethren. You know, I'm here in Canada. I'm at a stage where I recruit people, I train them, I get them licensed, and I send them out in the field,
To do
right?
what? To give financial advice.
Not only financial advice, to better their lives, to better
No,
their
I
lives.
figure out. I want to tell them that when they say you train them, I want them to hear what you train the people in.
To understand the money game. There's a
Okay.
thing called the rule of 72 that a lot of people don't know nothing about, right?
Okay.
So I help people to get themselves licensed, to hold a financial license, right? I build a brokerage. That's what I'm doing here in Canada. I'm building a brokerage. I'm duplicating myself, right?
Okay.
So instead of giving a man a fish, I'm teaching a man how to fish.
Yeah. All right. So I just got a I just got a request to hear the products which was all right. So I just got a request here. I had to look at it. It says, listen, you need to have a financial um like a financial advice workshop, and because what you're saying makes sense, but the average person um don't fully comprehend what to do. So can we so somebody hear people asking for your number, man, I say have Zoom meeting and all of these
Yes,
things.
man, I have Zoom, I can do one-on-one. You know, man, understand the products that are in Jamaica, right? But people who are in North America, right?
Okay, so you can't help the Jamaicans? What
No,
why?
man, advice can be given to those who in Jamaica same way,
Okay.
right? But you just need to find who have the solution that you need.
All right. So can we put together, because all I can do, we can put together a Patrick Reid, I am sure, sports like financial advice workshop for footballers.
Yep.
I mean, so you want to put that together, and then I don't, based on the time that you have, we just set a day and a time, probably later in the evening when most persons are at home from work, and probably you can do a session. Like I said, especially probably we can do it via Zoom. I don't know if you'll be open to that. So, like I said, some of these young footballers.
Always home for help, my brother, Zem, my brother. Guess
Uh,
what? Guess what, Mannings, man? A lot of the players who finish playing the game, a lot of us not gonna be a coach, right? Sometimes you give back in different ways to the
yeah.
sport. You give back in different ways. So if it's advice, advice is free, brethren, no cost.
And like I said, that you're already involved in this. You understand?
Yes.
Because someone is saying that you're talking about things like products. Which when I'm on your products, man, I talk about when I talk about some banana chips and all of them things. The what banana chips have to do with financial advice and bun and cheese and stuff.
All
Because
right.
you're talking about financial products and thing, investment products, saving options and you understand me?
Yes.
You
It's
know,
just
budgeting options.
the financial term we use. We say products.
Right, right. So what I'm saying that I know what you mean, and some persons may know, but not everyone really understand the use of certain terminologies in the
Yes.
discussion. I want to make sure. So if you can, I need some thumbs up, right? If you'd be interested in doing something like this, you can put some thumbs up in the comment section, and then I'll invite Patrick Reid. We'll set up a Zoom platform because that's easy. I have a Zoom. I don't know if you have one for your workshop that you can use that you normally do.
I want to.
Right. So if you can do that and you come back on, you tell them, and then you understand, we invite them to it one day and we do our Zoom.
I do a presentation for them.
Yeah, yeah. So you just need to tell us what day, you look at your schedule, tell us what day. And I think evening would be, probably the best time.
Yeah.
For most persons, like somewhere between starting at 6:30, 7 o'clock. So people are at least at home
At home.
for the most part, and then we give them enough time so they can plan ahead. But I think it's very important that a lot of the young footballers, because I like you, it hurts my heart to see a man play football and getting money all the days in life, and brethren, I mean yeah, I don't want to see it just look bad. I don't want to get into some of the things that I've seen. Right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not a good look. It's not a good look.
Yeah, and then Boris is also talking about insurance as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what I'm going
Insurance is key. If you want to leave legacy for your kids, man, get some insurance, brethren.
yeah. And what I'll tell people to do, I'll get someone else who can help those in Jamaica, right? So you see we're getting a lot of thumbs up. So we're gonna work on this. I
Yep.
will have to get someone, Patrick, who can tell them about the family indemnity plan. And I always tell people this, right? That people plan for life, but they don't plan for death. And when you don't plan for dying, you leave your family in debt.
In stress. In stress.
The important DEBT. You understand me? If you don't plan for DEATH, you're gonna leave your family in DEBT.
Yeah.
And I think what we need to do, because I say to people, like, listen, there are simple products out there that what you can do with these products is if someone die in your family, you get a lump sum of money
Yep.
to
Yep.
deal with it. That you don't have to borrow, you don't have to, you already have a budget, which is a part of your whole budget. And there are instruments that you only pay like 700 Jamaican dollars a month.
Yep.
And it covers like 10 persons in your family if they should die. You understand me? Because you just don't know.
You
And
don't know.
and then so we're gonna do that. No, but Tennessee saying I'm not a footballer, man, but I'm enjoying the show, brilliant show. Yeah, man. And you can be a part of it. I don't want anyone to believe that it is just about um footballers, but anyone, but we want to make sure that we're reaching out to the footballers primarily to help them. And then someone says, big up Bugs. He helped me when we played for United Methodist in Church League in 93 and 94. Scary, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Big up Gary, man.
Yeah, man. Yeah, yeah. And anytime I play a Church League, I always win that,
So I mean, you never play against my team then, man.
No,
Cause
man,
United.
no, man, I bump. Let me tell you the big team, them. East Queen Street Baptist when Bumpy used to play. Then
All right.
you had Kadashim, I think the team was. And you have Church on the Rock. You have the Marvelly Assembly Church right there where all of the Marvelly players used to play on. Like Marky and all of those guys don't. Those were, and then you had the church right across from Constant Spring Football Field. Those are some of the top churches in the league, man.
Hold on, man. Let me tell you how this thing really go manage, man. Cause I don't want to get it twisted, you know.
You
I'm
never
a big up my manager. I'm a big up the best church league manager, Daphne Campbell. If you don't know Daphne Campbell, no, not about church league.
Let's get them about Boulevard Baptist, man. No Methodist church never used
Not
to be
Boulevard
church,
Baptist. Prembakal Methodist changed to United Methodist.
No.
The first year we enter D2, we won D2. Clean sweep. Got promoted to D1. Went straight to the finals. But guess what now? We run up now a big team, Al Miller team, with about
Felt up. Let me tell you, see them team, them here
Beer
play.
National. Beer National. At that point in time, I was playing for Harborview, and the Harborview management, them never want me to play the finals. So, I have to sit down on the sideline. We got 12 in the finals. Me not hide and talk. We got 12 in the finals.
Yeah, well, my team did big, man. My team was a big team still. But because we had a lot of the guys from Boys Town, like I think Banky and Alan Reid and all of those guys. But
You guys
yeah.
probably come in the league late, man.
But the Marvel team though with like and Boulevard Baptist Kedoshim East Queen Street Baptist was a very good team as well back in those days in the church leagues. Yeah, man. But
So
people
Gary Brown at so beat all those teams, man.
well, but if you're in the Division 1 and we in the division, you're in Division 2 and win Division 1, maybe, you know?
we win Division 2 and went on to Division 1 and went to the finals in Division 1.
Okay.
So we team,
Right,
terrible little team, you know?
all right. So Roxanne said, great show for real. Yeah, man. So we're going to do that, Patrick. So please just, reach out to me. Let me know. We'll set it up. We'll have you come back on for a short thing where we can tell people, we can put the Zoom, the information
Zoom
for
link,
the Zoom link so they can jump on to the Zoom at the time. And then I'm going to get someone to just do, as you do the presentation for the persons in Jamaica, I could get someone from one of those credit unions who offer like the family
or wherever. Yes, that would be great. So you can help the guys who are in Jamaica, the people who are in North America. Me can get help for them.
Yeah, right. But the principles are transferable whether you're in Jamaica or not.
Wherever you are. Same basic understanding. Understanding the money game is key. Eh?
Yeah.
Because if you work hard for your money, it's supposed to allow your money to work hard for you too, you know?
Yeah. So yeah, but I think it's a big thing because two things footballer need to look at. What happens after football? Insurance, investments, budgeting. Like I tell people, a lot of people don't have a budget, I don't want to get into this. I always tell people when I give them advice. People don't have budget, they have spend it. They spend it until it ended. New word, quote unquote. What it means and they feel like they're budgeting. So they say, well, here's what they do. Me get me pay. My budget, come a $50,000 me go spend at the supermarket. And because they spend the 50,000, they think they're budgeting. Mm-hmm. But it's not what you spend is the first line item in your budget. The line items in your budget should not begin with what you spend, or else you're going to end up in problems. And then the challenge is people say that I don't have enough to save. You always, once you earn, you can save. Don't tell if you earn $100, you can save.
You're supposed to save 10% of whatever you're earning.
Minimum. Well, minimum. I tell
minimum.
People minimum.
Yes. Minimum. 20%. You have 80% for work offer, but you have to save.
Yeah. So that's it. You take out your saving first.
Your savings have to come out first.
You pay your bills next. You cancel your debt, and then that's what you have. So I tell people, don't change your saving amount, change your grocery amount.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So we'll get through some of those things. Listen, we're on the 2-hour mark, so I want to give you the last minute or two to kind of close out and talk to the persons who have been watching the stream as we close the show, and then I'll say thank you at the end for your time on the platform today, Patrick.
Yes, man. So first and foremost, I want to give God thanks for this opportunity here. Mannings, man, enough respect. You have a program here that is gonna blow up even more than what's happening right now, because we're educating a lot of people, right? And we get to see and hear the stories of past players, right? Which is great, right? It's in your archives for people to go back and watch. For the people who came onto the program today, I want to say thank you very much. Of course, I can't come off of this program here and do big up the Kipling family here in Canada, because from I came to Canada, these are the set of people that have been around, keep me grounded. You know, big up the Kipping crew. And again, for the young players, have a plan. Have a plan, right? And spend the time and dream, right? Dreams are vision now. Once you can vision it, you can achieve it. And again, manners, man, manners and respect, and enough love and enough respect to your platform. And again, thank you for the opportunity to come and tell my story, the untold story.
Yeah, man. Listen, I want to thank you. Listen, it's constant spring, is one spring, the real spring. Although you left from, he left from the view to the spring, then back into fire at Firehouse. But but I also want to thank you because I mean I learned so much. I've had the privilege of being around good footballers all my life and coaches and systems. Danielin and the Constant Spring family, and all of you guys who are more mature than us, just watching you play and seeing how you play, we learn so much about the sport, and very grateful for those things. I want to thank you as well for your time on the show. Not being afraid to talk about some of the things you went through in your own life, and that you're basically operating as a philanthropist, helping people to be better with their finances. And so I want to thank you for coming on. And like I said, we will continue the dialogue because so many persons are requesting that we really do this whole financial advice thing. And we're going to do it and probably find a way to keep it going at regular intervals so we can help people be better. If you always do what you have always done, you will always be who you have always been. And so I hope that we can learn some transferable principles to make our life and the lives of the people around us better. Again, Patrick, thank you so much. I mean, enjoy the rest of your day. All the best for 2022, and we will continue to dialogue. All right, blessings, my friend.
Much appreciated, Mannings, man. And I can't come off without bigging up my daughter because I know she on the program here. Renee Reid, she said she never know her daddy played so much soccer, she's Canadian. So,
Oh,
when she start to see the clippings and so forth, big up Renee, daddy love you, And
yeah, attorney.
big up
I-
my wife, Natalie McFarlane, and my four
Okay.
daughters, Destiny Reid, Renee Reid, Perez Reid, and Justice Reid, Enough love again, man is man.
Yeah, man.
Much
And Doris,
appreciated.
your attorney also saying
And
blessing.
of course, we have a big up my attorney, Boris Judge, so enough love in the Boris.
Yeah, but all right, thank you. All right, people, there you go. That is Patrick Reid for you. What a wonderful, wonderful story. What a wonderful program. Again, we hope you have learned. Yeah, understand me. Knowledge is important. It empowers, it edifies, it encourages, and it transforms. But that knowledge must be applied. Part of wisdom is the application of knowledge. And I hope something that you have heard today, you have learned today, you'll apply to your life to see changes. We have plans going forward concerning this financial advice, and we're looking forward to you joining us for that. We will indeed, as Patrick suggested, get back in touch with you to share those dates and those times for the meeting on the Zoom platform. But before I end, I see one comment that I have to address it. I will say the CC Sports Lab, even if you're earning minimum wage, you can save. You can save. You have to change your expenses so you can save. You change your expenses. No matter what you earn, you can save. It may not be a lot, but you can save and you should save. It's an important principle in good financial management. Uh, Listen, have a great day, one and all. Um, Big up to all the other vloggers who would have been watching as well. I see Ryan LFC who was in here. The Formula Sport is normally tuned in. CC Sports Lab and also Unseen Sports TV. Think he has an interview later today with a young Cavalier player called Richard King. So you can check that out on his platform. Again, Have a great day, and thank you for the 2 hours that you have spent with us. You're asking if you want to email the channel. I see Noble saying that, so let me send you. I'm going to type it in the email, and you can just send the email there, right? The channel has an email, but this one is easier to get through to. So let me just, there you go. So D Noble, that's the email. You can send an email to that link, and we will reach back out to you. All right. We have a couple other links for the channel, but use that one. We always have someone administrating at that email address. Again, bless you. We want to say a big thank you also to our sponsors, Tricknick. Tricknick is a Jamaican owned and operated company in Canada, and they use authentic Jamaican herbs and spices to make all their products. They are offering a 25% discount on everything that they sell. All you have to do is shop at www.tricknick.ca and use the code I am sure sports. As I end, I'm going to play a couple of ads for you so you can see a few of their products.
Picnic Jerk Marinade gives your meats and vegetables authentic Jamaican jerk flavor. The spices are directly from Jamaica. Spices like jerk seasoning, allspice, Scotch bonnet pepper, fresh scallions, thyme, ginger, and garlic. The key ingredients to a great jerk marinade. 0% sugar and low in sodium. You want to try it?
Of 18 Jamaican herbs and spices, add delicious, bold flavor to your next grilling experience. Flavoring sauce, a marinade, basting, condiment, or topping. Trick Nick Jerk Barbecue Sauce.
Oh, remember to hit the like button before you leave. If you have not yet subscribed to the channel, please go ahead and also subscribe. Share the content and be a blessing to someone else. This is Management representing for I Am Sure Sports, and we are over and